go. Kick back, pull up, take a seat. Laughing so hard you forget the week. No script, no rules, just jokes on blast. Stories flying way too fast. If you're bored, well, not no more. 'Cause here we go at 4 o'clock sharp. You hear that knock? That's the fun at the door. Tuesday at 4, yeah, we're hanging out. Ganjavelli, Skunky, friends all around, talking nonsense, laughing loud. Best damn hang you're gonna find in town. Tuesday at 4.
The following show is being broadcast in front of a live Facebook and YouTube audience and is being brought to you by the Hippie Broadcasting Network, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records. Now, here are your hosts, Dosa Ganjavelli and Lil Skunky.
Yay!
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Stuffed and Uncensored. Today, we are opening up a conversation that starts right here in my state of Pennsylvania. Right here. I mean, Pennsylvania.
This ought to be good.
But let's be real. This could be going down near you, too. The topic today is simple. Proprietary pot controversy. If it's as simple as trying to say that, then we're in trouble. Good God.
You're in trouble anyway. Yep.
This is being sold as medicine. Patients should not have to beg for answers. Patients should not be left wondering what was tested, when it was tested, what passed, what failed, and what is actually in the final product that they are putting into their bodies. Today, we are asking the uncomfortable questions. Why are some test results treated like secret? Why does the word proprietary, for crying out loud, seem to matter more than patient safety? And how are patients supposed to trust the system when transparency feels locked behind a door? This is not about fear. This is not about drama. This is, well, a little bit of drama because I'm a little dramatic. But this is about patients, real people, real medicine, real safety, and real accountability. And, of course, we've got the crew here today. Of course, we've got my main man, Lil Skunky. I say hi, Lil Skunky.
What's up?
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Good. I saw somebody make fun of you the other day about peanut butter in your mouth because it doesn't move.
Right, it'll rip out if it does.
I was laughing so hard. Anyway, and of course we got the beautiful Aviva and Scribbles down there. And I'm sure our friend Mo will be here shortly. And the main man himself, Jeff, right there below me. Thank you all for being here. You already know this panel is not afraid to say what needs to be said, so welcome in, everybody. Drop your thoughts in the chat. Tell us where you're watching from. Hit the like button, share it out, subscribe to WTHC Radio and or the Hippie Broadcasting Network, because conversations like this matter. If it is happening in Pennsylvania today, it could be happening in your state tomorrow. So let's light up the truth. This is Stuffed and Uncensored, and today we are talking about the proprietary pot controversy. Good Lord.
It's a hard one.
Proprietary is not an easy word for me.
Hey, you got it this time.
I know, the one time I'm trying. All right. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Good afternoon. I think I lost half the crowd through that whole talk. We're going to have to cut that down next time. Anyway, I got a ton of questions for you, Jeff. What do you want to start out with saying?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. So, I mean, I guess we can talk about the today's topic a little bit, about like information that we can't see. I mean, we talk about transparency all the time. And we have people that are always talking to us about transparency as well. So in this last week, we had somebody reach out to us up from, I believe they were in maybe Maryland or Michigan, somewhere up that way. And they were saying that they had visited in Pennsylvania and that at the dispensaries that they weren't able to see the test results at all. Like Pennsylvania obviously does test their cannabis products.
Let me stop you right there, my good
okay.
friend. Pennsylvania is a medical-only state, and we do not allow people from other states with their fake-ass medical cards into our dispensaries. So if you were coming from another state and you tried to get in, liar. Go ahead. Sorry, this show is over. It was all on lies. It was based on lies. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Yeah, no. So they were telling me, I can't say that they were the one specifically visiting this dispensary.
Oh yeah,
but,
that's true. They could have been visiting a friend. Okay, my apologies.
Yeah, absolutely. So they were asking about test results, and they were unable to see test results in their dispensary because they weren't required to do so by law like some other places. So these products are being tested, but you're not able to see the results. So basically the grower or processor is submitting the samples to the lab. The lab is producing the results.
Wait a minute. I'm having a hard time here, Jeffrey. I live in Pennsylvania. Every time I go in there, if I ask for a COA, they just hand me a piece of paper. I really don't know what I'm looking at because I'm an uneducated consumer. So I crumple it up and I throw it in the garbage. But you know that they're sending me home with something.
Hey, how about you share some of those results with us, and we can take a look over and see what you're getting.
All right,
Yeah.
Next time I go there, I'll bring some home.
Ooh, good idea, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're happy to do that for anybody. So like if you reach out on any of our social media pages, we will more than happy to look over your test results, any of them that you want to send. Like we want to help you out to be able to understand your test results. But back to the story. So they told us that the dispensaries and all that, they were not required to actually show any of these test results. They're only shared with the Pennsylvania Cannabis Commission, and I'm not sure if that's the exact acronym, but that they were not required to show any of these test results at all. So so if you're a patient and trying to go in and you want to actually look at like if there was pesticides and things in your sample, which Pennsylvania does allow for certain pesticides to be used on products, including cannabis, you may not be able to see that. Yeah, you may not be able to see that. So, and then they mentioned another issue about pesticides as well. So I went to do some digging, and sure enough, if you are testing cannabis in Pennsylvania, you are not required to share any of those test results at all. And so like,
no, why would we want people to know about what we're doing? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, and those are where you can see those discrepancies, like what is on the label versus what is on the test result. And if I'm sensitive to like mold and yeast, and if it has a lot, like how can I see that if they're not even required to show us what the test results? Or if pesticides are allowed in Pennsylvania, like the reading I was doing earlier, if I don't want those pesticides in my sample,
can you give me one, Jeffrey? Like you guys test for 7 or something, and California tests for 100 and something. What is Pennsylvania? What do we test for? 6?
I was digging in to try to see if I could see what the list was on there, and I didn't end up finding that list yet. I just saw that.
What's going on around here?
Maybe there's no list.
I'm not really sure. I think there probably is a list somewhere, but
you guys doing that on me on purpose? You
What?
see?
Huh?
The boxes keep closing and turning black.
Oh, yeah, you keep breaking up.
Yeah, you're sounding a little distorted.
Yeah, often talking.
Maybe your volume's too loud.
Nah, it's not that. It's my damn Wi-Fi again.
T-Mobile?
Fuck. Go ahead, Jeff. You talk.
Okay. So, so essentially, so we did dig into some of these rules. I'm not sure how many pesticides Pennsylvania currently tests for, but I did see in their regulations that there is a spot in there where they are allowed to use these pesticides. And I guess my concern is that if these pesticides are in the sample and you don't want them in your products and you're not actually able to look at them, I find that kind of concerning that patients don't have access to look at the test results of the medicines that they're buying.
I just realized I have a whole bunch of mold buildup in my lungs, that's for sure. I just realized it in my lawsuit. I'll be contacting my lawyer in a little while. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, I just kind of wanted to point out that I thought that was an issue that patients don't really have the right to look at these test results, but this goes into the much bigger story of us like talking about free access of other kinds of data. Like Metric is one of the very popular seed to sale tracking programs, and I mean they are able to pull out so much data of like what are the common failures, like what are the failure rates, what are the other usable data that's not personally identifiable to like growers and processors that could be very helpful to the public. And yeah, I mean, we just find this lack of transparency across the board in many of these situations just to be kind of problematic. Like, how can you trust your results when you're not able to see them? And yeah, when you have these government agencies like these cannabis administrations that have access to all this data but won't share them publicly, like why? It brings about the bigger questions of like, why is there not more transparency in all of this?
I just read something recently about them building some sort of a OMA of your state here in Pennsylvania, and they were looking for different people to be on OMA. And
That would be good for you.
yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna let Ganjavelli in there. Jeff, I got questions. You want me to ask some questions?
Sure. I wouldn't mind circling back around this to a little bit later, but yeah, we can do some questions. Go for it.
Oh, do what you got to do. If you want more. If you got more to say, go for it.
Well,
I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're all right. So because somebody had actually contacted me about this issue in Pennsylvania, like we've been doing some digging to try to figure out like which states are actually like kind of more transparent with the data and which ones aren't, and it seems to be a pretty big mess overall. And I was also trying to validate this comment they made about testing of pesticides and how it may be randomized, but I'm not sure what's going on with that yet. And so I might have some more information on that.
I'm really a little scared. I don't want to hear much about this because this is my state we're talking about. This is the medicine I get.
Yeah, and then kind of back to that point on the transparency of metric data, like we were reading a report that came out not too long ago. I think it's on it was posted on Beard Bros Farms, and it was basically talking about the broken trust in cannabis compliance with the Metric seed to sale program, and the fact that they can look at the data and they know that there's issues that have been coming out of like California and these other states, how they could see like when there's like illicit activities that are going on, but once again, because this data is not publicly available, we can't see these actions going on, and it just hurts the legal industry, hurts the mom and pops.
Did you see the thing about what state is it? What state is they're taking it back? They're voting. They're gonna take away weed. What state was it? I can't remember right now. I'm too high.
Yeah, I don't recall, but I remember it was
with an M. Maryland, Minnesota, one of them, Michigan, one of them. Yeah. They're voting to get rid of it. Yeah, this is gonna be the first state to reverse legalization of medical marijuana. Great job, guys. Great job, jackasses.
Yeah.
Did they flip parties in that state?
It hasn't been voted on yet, so there's nothing official yet. But that being said, they are on the ballot to reverse it and no longer have medical marijuana. Anybody in the crowd can help me out there, yeah.
Is it a new governor or a flipped governor?
I don't know. I really didn't get that far into it. I saw that, my damn heart dropped out of my belly, and I was like, they can do it there. They can do it here.
There's no way it's
Massachusetts. My assistant over here, Mrs. Hippie, she looked it up and said it's Massachusetts is on the ballot to try to get rid of it for legal. No more.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Is that for medically as well, or just recreation?
All. I think it's all. They're getting rid of this medical, right? Medical, Mrs. Hippie? I'm sorry. Medical will still be medical would still be legal. Recreational and homegrown will be gone in Massachusetts.
No.
That's
Homegrown
what
for the
they're
win.
saying, sister.
Not cool.
Maybe
Not
because there's so
cool
many
at all.
colleges there.
Maybe because people are manipulating the medicine and turning it into bad shit that makes people
No.
scrum it everywhere. And then they're getting sick and they're like, you know what? We can't have this. This is bad. It's making people sick.
I'm guessing it's because of the smell.
And the smell too, yes.
Right.
So,
The smell. It smells like you all the time, bro.
Right.
so maybe some other considerations here too, and we've heard this around here too, is that because cannabis has had such a dramatic effect on the reduction of alcohol use overall, that some of the companies that are alcohol companies will be
Yeah.
hiring lobbyists to kind of shut down some of these programs, or people that are like some of these big pesticide companies that don't want the liability are trying to get some of these laws like cut or manipulated as well.
So
these-
fucked up. It's in everything. It's in everybody's got their fucking hand. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting a little upset over here.
Yeah,
Everybody's got their freaking hand. Sorry, Scribbles. I apologize, buddy. I don't like to
I
talk.
didn't hear
like
anything.
I don't like to talk like that.
Just gotta take a hit, right? Like,
But everybody's. Yeah, I'm just gonna shut up. Go ahead. Go ahead,
that's
Jeff.
better. That's better, right?
This crochet cush
No,
is the only thing
I
I
get it,
feel
like-
safe with nowadays is the crochet cush.
Yeah, but I mean, like those considerations should also be thought of, because we know that like the alcohol industry, maybe like the agricultural industry that doesn't want the liabilities of contaminating somebody's weed crop that they're growing. Like there's different factors that are in play of why certain things might be getting repealed or laws might be changing, and those are some definitely some real considerations, because those people are around and doing these things.
Yeah, and if they're bigger than our wigs, then their wigs are gonna take over and ruin it all. Did that make any sense?
No.
Or if
Their
Yeah.
wigs are bigger than our wigs, and they are. Alcohol's been around forever. How many wigs do we got? You know
Just
what
stay
I
away
mean?
from the earwigs.
Yes, them and the big wigs, the jerks. Sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
so, are the earwigs kind of like the assistants that help out the bigwigs?
Yes, we're here constantly.
Just checking. I didn't know. Thanks for the clarification.
Their earwigs. What are you drinking? Some RSO over there? Good God, that was dark. Anyway,
Could be.
go ahead. I'm done. I'm done for now.
No, you're good. So yeah, so like kind of investigating this thing about Pennsylvania just kind of led me down to some other roads of trying to figure out like what people are looking at, what information is accessible to the public. I mean, we were obviously very aware of the things that are going on in Oklahoma and like the complete lack of transparency, but I mean the lack of transparency across the board. As far as I know, we're the only like live streaming transparent lab. I know it's
Countrywide.
cannabis lab for sure, but we might be the only transparent testing lab period in the
We
United
might
States.
be the only transparent radio station, by the way.
We're not.
We're not?
No.
Damn it. It's worth a try.
Well, you're one of the transparent labs.
We're
or-
one of the
That's-
transparent radio
and that's
stations.
good,
We do
and that's
more
good.
than others. We call them out. We tell them they're dirt bags
There you go.
when they're bad. That's right. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, so I guess that's kind of my overall lead into like the topic for
420,
this week.
everybody. Happy 420. Sorry, go ahead.
And yeah, then I'm sure I'll have some more information to dig up, and I'll try to post or share this stuff so people can kind of see these issues. And I really encourage everyone for like the next legislative session, like it really helps with your legislators, your own legislators in your own state, to call them up and tell them that you are pissed off about the stuff, but not once. You have to keep on calling them and say like, I don't like what you're doing to our program, and you need to change it.
Again, Colin, and I'm here to tell you. Yeah, but
Yes.
I don't believe them anyway, you sons of bitches. They say
Thought you was going to tell us you didn't have a phone.
it's my shoe phone. It's my phone joint. They sit there and they lie to us anyway. They're like, yeah, we're going to fix it as soon as you vote us in. That's right. Come vote for me and I'm going to fix it. And then nothing.
Then they turn it around. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing ever gets
Well-
done. It's all the other guys' fault.
Maybe,
Them for the next 4 years.
maybe we're putting the blame in the wrong place here. Maybe it should be on the voters who vote their state shit in.
Yeah, maybe we should learn to read before we vote.
Possibly.
So there's I'm forgetting the name of this particular movie at the moment, but I think it was like a Disney movie, and it was basically about the ants, and they were saying, like the scariest part is once the ants all realize when they get together that they can overthrow everything else. And I know I'm paraphrasing this, but this is the same thing. You start getting all these people together and saying like, I don't like what you're doing, and if you don't stop, we will vote you out. Or if we have receipts and you told us you were going to fix something, we're going to plaster this all over publicly and make you look bad.
Yeah.
And you have to follow through and do it.
But we don't have any support over here at WTHC. So when we post that shit, everybody just laughs at me. They're like, and they give me a hard time about my AI. They're like, yeah, stop using AI, dipshit. Like, AI's the problem, bruh. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, just ask them, be like, okay, you do my art every week.
Yeah, you do. You come do part of my job every week.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
of my things that'll help me a lot. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's kind of basically where we're at so far. So, like, I did some investigating on some of the laws for cannabis in Pennsylvania. I'm finding that there's definitely truths to the things that they were saying.
Go to my dispensary this week. You guys better hold on if you're watching. They know who I am.
Hey, I got a question.
Yes,
Sure.
Skunky.
Do you know anything about the testing in Canada where the whole country is legal? Do you know if it's more uniform, or you know what I mean?
Good question.
Or do they even care about chemicals? Because they're a little weird up there, you know?
Well, I don't know.
Take
So
off your
Canada's
hose.
actually a real good example, and we've used multiple papers that have been produced from both, I think, people that are affiliated with the Canadian government. They have a lot of good data about like certain types of pesticides, the ways that the labs have to test to prove that they can actually do the testing properly. There's a lot of oversight. There are huge studies that are coming out of Canada. So while I can't exactly speak to it being in that market itself, the things that I'm seeing make it look far more reliable or trustworthy than some of the places here.
I'm just putting it out here, all right? But take this, for instance. The UK now, they don't have nothing in their foods. They don't do nothing with nothing. They're very well behaved over there. We should just pay them to grow everybody's weed and then
No, we shouldn't.
What? That's
No.
a brilliant idea, because then you get no chemicals because they don't have any. You get no sugar. No. All right.
If they were selling it to our dumbasses, they'd add it to get more money out of it, I guarantee you.
I just Googled cannabis testing in Canada, and it didn't talk about Canada, but it said potency testing is typically performed by liquid chromatography with UV detectors to determine the amount of major cannabinoids. However, analysis of trace and minor cannabinoids is becoming more common with mass spectrometry. Is that what you use? Do you use UV detectors, Jeff?
Actually, we do, and I think we're most of the equipment is based off of UV detection of some sort. But yeah, that's a very, very common method for a lot of people to use.
So cool.
And UK and Canada are kind of related, right?
So one of the last times I was up in Canada for a business trip, the Queen had visited and gave a speech for Canada Day when we were
Was
there.
the Queen a pothead?
We don't.
I mean, maybe.
Wow.
Hey, I don't blame her.
We'll never know. Anyway.
I just saw this UV light can also make mold fluorescence in walls. Is that true? About cannabis too.
It may be possible on that. I'm not really sure. I couldn't speak to that for sure. But yeah, some of the testing methods do when you're plating them, they will end up fluorescing over different types of UV light. So it just I think it probably depends.
Thanks.
All right.
Where'd you go, Skunky?
I got a cramp in my hand.
What is that? It's going down. All right. A question or two here. If cannabis is medicine, why shouldn't patients have easy access to full test results, Jeffrey?
Yeah, so that's kind of the question that we're poking at. Like, why don't you have access to it? Like, if you go to a grocery store and you're buying food off the shelf, like you're going to see that label. It's going to give you calories. It's going to give you certain
Some of
types of
the stuff, yeah, some of it.
yeah, and then it's going to tell you the
Well,
ingredients and other various things, maybe some allergens and all of that. So, like,
Does it tell you if it finds pesticides or molds in your meat?
damn, yeah. So, like, that's where you have to like trust the USDA and these other agencies that they're
I
going to
feel very
actually.
comfortable with that. Trusting
think
them
so.
sons of bitches.
Well,
You
this
heard
is our
me, sons of bitches. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, this is our point of like why we think that all the test results for all sorts of things should be transparent, like including in food and medicines and everything else,
Right.
not just cannabis. Like
I
this
feel
is
like part of the medicine of the plant is to create community and togetherness. So I almost feel like it's intrinsic for us to all keep talking and figuring this out, because cannabis has this beautiful way of bringing
But
people
there's
together.
so much division between the cannabis community. Everybody's like, oh no, we're cooler than you. You're not as cool as us. We got our own cannabis.
That's because they have,
plan."
it's not in their awareness. They haven't
Instead of
embraced
working
that the
together
medicine
and
is
all coming
community.
together to create a green party, we're instead going to continue to vote for red and blue and let them dumbasses.
no, we're not.
Well, yeah, that's true. No, we're not. But anyway, you know what I mean. But, we need to all come together instead of separating and fighting with each other. Because my crew makes pictures with AI and that one doesn't, like stupid shit. And then they're like, well, we can't hang out with you because you said something silly. And then, anyway, that being
Yeah, it's about priorities. I think that, like anything else, the dark forces try to create competition and
absolutely. There's people out there
create
causing
feeling of lack.
in a
And it's
way.
just awareness. We just have to keep reminding each other that the medicine is community just as much as cannabis.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, that whole adage of divide and conquer, it's been happening a long time, and it keeps on like it still works.
We're too dumb to catch on. That's our issue. Is we
Oh,
oh my goodness! It's
no.
Well, it's just been oppressed for so long,
You
it's just
driving?
people get in that oppressed
Hey.
lack feeling instead of the gratitude.
Mm.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Mo. Hi, Mo.
Hey, sorry, you got a little stuck. I was hearing you guys talk. Yeah, I totally agree. Like dark forces. Yeah.
You ride a motorcycle there?
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah,
I
probably
hear
should shut that off. But yeah, I totally agree with you guys. Like, I think that a lot of the problems end up being on purpose. It'd be great to come together, but obviously, I think that sometimes there's like lines that have to be drawn because not everybody wants to be held to the same standard.
Skunky, up here, the handsome fella in the front.
But
Hey,
adversity brings people together too.
Hold
to
on,
solve the
Aviva. I
problem.
said handsome fella. not
Absolutely.
Beautiful young
So
lady.
you kind of create a standard that some people can.
You're out of control.
What was that?
I said Skunky. He had a question.
Oh, my fault.
Before we get too far away from it and I forget, did you say
Happy 4th.
Canada is more uniform than where it's just in our states? You know what I mean? Or do you know?
As far as I understand, I believe so.
It's more uniform testing.
They've been doing this shit for like 20 years now, though, aren't they? They've been legal for forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious about that because it's countrywide.
I can't believe they don't have cannabis fuel yet. So crazy.
Yeah, stupid dumbasses.
They don't have what?
A car that runs on cannabis, them jackasses.
Yeah,
Sorry, not you, Canada. Other guys.
yeah,
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure I saw this in a Cheech and Chong movie where the van was made out of weed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different kind of cannabis
That was Mexico.
transportation.
good cannabis.
No.
That's a little too flammable for the road.
I got a question here. What does proprietary actually mean when we're talking about something patients inhale or consume, Jeff? Or Mo? Or
And only
Aviva,
some people
Or
can
anyone.
see it.
or Skunk.
Proprietary would be like intellectual property, I would imagine. Very similar. Like this is our, like, just like a supplement. They're like, this is our proprietary blend, which in my opinion is usually an excuse to not show you what's actually in it.
Yeah, like it's kind of that whole thing of need to know, and if they feel like you don't need to know, then you don't get to see it.
Oh, that's Pennsylvania for sure.
Clean air, water, and soil should not be proprietary.
Absolutely, or
You
clean
want
or
clean
clean
air,
medicine.
too? Good God, what's wrong with you? Oh, want. Clean air, clean
Yeah,
weed.
yeah. So many,
Out
so
loud.
needy.
So needy.
We're so high maintenance. Yeah.
These damn Americans. At what point does protecting companies' information become more important than protecting the patients? Good God, that's a great question.
Exactly. Yeah, protecting companies is what proprietary is, pretty much.
So the lifeblood of a business is
Hi, Razorback guy. Thanks for joining us, buddy. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
the lifeblood of a business is money, and if money is the tool that the business operates in, it's also the tool that owns the legislators. So
Right.
It's also proprietary.
It's an interesting loop of protection that always bypasses the consumer. That is definitely the awareness, I think, of the new economy that should be coming of authenticity, where people should be demanding, if I'm going to put my whatever amount of disposable income that I do have, and for some people it's a lot less than others, definitely looking into where they're spending their dollars and who they're giving them to and who they're empowering. Right? Like if I'm giving my money to said company, I should actually, in my opinion, I'm an investor.
Yes.
I should get to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Not just blindly trust what's happening. And
Should medical products be allowed to hide safety-related information from people using it? Question mark? Because it didn't sound like a question when I read it. I'm sorry.
It sounded more like a statement.
Yeah, it did. That's why I said question mark.
Oh.
What do you think about not having access to test results? I can't read results for the cannabis that you are buying. Is that to me? I'm angry.
Me, I don't care.
Are they pretty good in Pennsylvania of being able to show you the COA at least?
They don't have to.
They don't have to. Apparently, Jeff is telling me.
That is exactly what we were looking up, and then pointing out as well with so if you can't look at the micro results or pesticides or anything else that's in your sample, you can't really check to see if the THC or the terpenes, if anything matches your label, if they're not required to, then why are they hiding that?
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
No, it's not. They're not hiding it.
They're just lazy.
Yeah, they're just lazy here in Pennsylvania. They just don't put it out unless you ask.
I don't know that that's so much hiding it, just as they don't have to do it.
Yeah, but if they don't, and it is medicine, then how are we expecting them to do the right thing? If cutting a corner can help you keep your lights on, that's why I don't demonize any of the operators. But the regulatory bodies that are policing on what the rules are before it gets to you as the consumer, they're supposed to be. That's the only job of the government. The only job of the government is to ensure supposedly an actual free market, and on top of that, have safe products on that free market. That is literally the only job of the government, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeff or Mo or Aviva and Scribbles or Skunky, because we're all geniuses here. We're all geniuses. What's the difference between testing at harvest and testing the final product?
Well, okay. I think a lot of testing during the harvest happens with hemp products to ensure that it's not trying to surpass that 0.03% THC. That's the limit that was in the Farm Bill. And in its final form, it can definitely exceed those values. But we've also heard for hemp that they may end up testing it several weeks before harvest as well, and it's just a common practice. So I don't know if that's happening so much with cannabis, but it's possible it could be.
Can someone test clean at harvest but become a concern later?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, potentially if there's mold or black molds or other things while the product is actually curing or sitting in containers. Yeah, I mean that could definitely be a potential problem. Or let's say that you tested it for something, and then some mice or something got into your storage areas and then contaminated it with like some steck or your salmonella or something. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, or you tested it at harvest and you processed it in an interesting way, or any way. It may either concentrate the compounds, or it can, who knows what other foreign things are inviting into it. So definitely testing at harvest would be a lot different than testing in final form, depending on what product you're creating.
Right.
And what other ways you're going to handle it. I mean, that's one of the things we notice with pre-rolls. Pre-rolls is like one of the most common microbial fails.
I got a pocket full of.
Well, you're also breaking up, like Jeff.
Over pre-rolls, baby.
What was it?
Sorry, I was singing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He's over there singing songs.
Awesome.
Is that because of the germs on people's fingers?
Well, and also like I think Jeff stated before on here, like a long time ago, where like you have a yeast colony, and a yeast colony looks like grapes.
You know what I got going on down here.
You grind it up, and then now that yeast colony turns from one colony into multiples of that colony.
Leave my yeast infection.
So just naturally, by the nature of pre-rolls being processed by being ground up, you're going to end up with one colony. Yeah, absolutely. And then the alternative of some sort of the argument of some sort of radiation to clean it. You may not want that consequence.
I make myself sick here. Look at this. This is crazy. What should patient safety actually mean in a medical cannabis program? Anyone?
Well, I think this is probably there's probably different parts to this. So I think the ability for patients to actually trust the products that they are getting and that the results are accurate on there, to have the accountability on the sides of the growers and the processors of like the things that they're doing, to have just to have that transparency and trust in the processes, and like to know that you're actually getting something safe, and that there's some kind of checks and balances in place to make sure that the program functions as it is and people aren't circumventing it and giving you bad products, because that does happen.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's like I would add to that same thing. I think as a patient, it would be nice to have our own set of standards rather than trying to. It's something me and Jeff have been talking about. Is like, rather than always the lab playing catch up in the arms race, having a set standard of like, hey, this is what I would deem smokable, and a lot of those things may be unrealistic in the traditional form of business of asking what I want to see exactly what my inputs are, and then maybe having clients or workers at that grow being able to sign a whistleblower clause to encourage whistleblowing if there's some compounds or some chemicals that are not supposed to be on premise on site, for them to report it and almost being rewarded for reporting it.
Being a snitch.
You called it Grease 2 out there. Good comment.
T-Bro. That's the real Tim T-Bro. Would this level of secrecy be accepted with any other medications or medicines? I would have to say, yeah. You know what? If a little bit of weed, I can only imagine what's in my Tylenol to give me autism like this. Good
right.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, your hair looks good, Wild. I hope you didn't put it up for me.
Oh, I always put it. I dress up just for you, bro. Oh, you were talking.
Jeff's got some experience in like pharmaceutical and promiscuous inhibitors and other stuff, so he'd probably know a lot on how honest the medicine is.
And it depends what country you get it from.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just given the way that some of the testing goes, like as far as like the quality control of products that are rolling out of a facility or a pharmaceutical company, like, yeah, you have to kind of rely on their trust results and the fact that they're trying to give you this medicine that won't hurt you. But if we look in all actuality, like there's recalls for products all the time that, I mean, they may not be immediate, but they may happen several years or decades down the line of like oh, hey, sorry, this was contaminated with something, or this caused blindness, or this caused liver damage, or this caused so on and so forth. So, I mean, those things absolutely do happen.
My
But
bad. My
That's
bad.
why I wear these.
Is there? I wonder if there. Like, I think I was having a conversation with someone earlier. Is there a potential risk? Is now it's potentially going federal that all of a sudden there will be possibly some litigation of like like almost like those lawyer commercials. Like, have you been
Yeah.
Like all
like
these lawsuits.
have you been smoking blah 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 like
Sure,
cannabis?
that's the American way now. Sue. Yeah.
so,
Shoo.
Which
yeah, I mean,
Good point,
sucks.
Mo.
We'd rather have a market that obviously prevents that. Like, you don't want to get nasty and get all suey, but I mean, the reality is it'd be cool to,
Suey.
yeah,
Heard that
So
as an adjective.
probably headed that way with the fact that there's a cannabis company that's trying to get on the New York Stock Exchange. Now that there's like federal restrictions that are easing across the board. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So things are definitely changing in a big way to where there might be some accountability in that way of people talking about these things. I think there's one or two cannabis companies that are looking to see if they could sell all their cannabis worldwide or at least nationally across the United States. And so the more that these are spread about in different states, I'm sure there's more likelihood that there could be like class action suits and things against people if they are poisoned by these products.
Mm-hmm.
There will be now.
Please be required to explain testing information clearly to a patient.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least on the federal level, they will have to come up with like how they're doing testing, what people are allowed to see and show, and if there's people that will go out there and just put out information publicly like we plan to do, then we kind of set the example of, well, we're showing all the results and everything and all the data that we can. We encourage everybody else to do that and basically demand that you're able to see the test results for the products that you're purchasing. So like have any faith in it whatsoever.
Yeah, and the hope that the lab's honest.
Yeah, and we all know that that's a huge problem, but maybe with it changing on the federal level, we hope that it gets better. Anyways.
Yeah. A lot of these questions are just the same shit that I've been asking you for weeks here. What happens when money, businesses, relationships, and testing all collide?
So, it's a little bit of a tangent, but what Aviva was saying earlier about like this, this community and this cannabis culture. I mean, kind of going back to that, like as soon as this became more commercial, like some of that is lost. Just between like the grows and the processors and patients and all that. I mean, I think there's still a good culture between patients, but there's this other side with business where there's probably some kind of disconnect there. And, I think that's where some of these problems arise as well. But also speaking to that other point of like talking about who has their fingers in the pot and like other money in there, like if we're starting to talk about legislation and these alcohol companies or agricultural companies, like that is shifting things and making they're not part of the culture at all. Like they don't care in the same way if all you're interested in is money and not really taking care of people.
And it seems like the processors have the control, like the ones with the expensive equipment, similar to milk. Like I was talking to this ice cream maker and they really wanted to make organic ice cream, but a lot of times the milk just gets all thrown in together with the processor and they don't know which is from which cow. So as far as creating heavy cream, it becomes an issue.
Yeah, I know traditionally like processors in certain ways are kind of where cannabis goes to disappear.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can say you had X amount of cannabis come through and then you only made X amount of oil or whatever else. And so traditionally they've definitely had power, and then you have the dispensaries that are getting to dictate kind of the pricing. So then they'll act like, oh, the market's so like low, and then they'll undercut growers. I think one of the problems is like example for us, we're stuck in business to business. Like, so we have to figure out a way for us in order to be able to have some sort of leverage in business to consumer, because the consumer is where the true source of the trickle down starts. It's like who they choose to trust, and then the trickle down from there. So I think businesses are in survival mode, and one of the sad parts is about the transparency of like what I've been trying to advocate for with some of these growers is they're kind of stuck where, you know, if they cut a corner, will that keep the lights on? And then also you have bigger players that are coming in. So some of them are hoping maybe to sell out. Some of them are hoping to stay in the game, and while the bigger players are in. So they're kind of stuck in this catch-22 where do they want, like, that's kind of one of the things for us with us having cameras in there. It kind of makes you recheck, even if you are in a desperate situation, of being like, you know what, we have to keep make sure our credibility is number one. So rather we need to buy these supplies instead of paying ourselves, right? Where someone else that has no cameras on can shift their priorities, because no one will be the wiser because they're not being vulnerable and revealing themselves. So I think that some businesses are just in survival mode. So the nature of the beast is the business to business, and obviously the lifeblood being the money, keeping the lights on, can sway your priorities. So you may market, yeah, exactly. You may market, oh, we're the best, but reality is I don't want anyone looking in. And they may be honest, good people, but they're just stuck in a conundrum of, do I keep the lights on and cut this corner on my product, and my product may not be as premium medically as it could be, but I had to pay for groceries this month, you know?
Right.
And I had to meet a certain demand, like supply and demand. I had to make so many, so I had to cut it with something.
I think that happens as soon as, like, I think that the mistake here, and it's only my opinion, so don't get all rowdy, everybody. Don't get your panties in a bunch. But what
My panties are in a bunch.
I hate that expression.
Hey, you hate
Too
that
late.
expression? I'm sorry, Aviva, I'll never use it again. But
Well,
what
my
I'm
panties
saying
are
Aw, thank you.
if they should have went with every state and focused on medical and only medical instead of bringing in the rec. Now listen, all you rec people, I love you and I want you to have your marijuana, of course. I personally think you should be able to grow your own, but that being said, then they went in, and as soon as they start bringing recreation into the situation, then all these the growers and the processors all have to start trying to keep up with the amount of medicine is now tripled or doubled or quadrupled, for Christ's sake. And now they're trying to put out so much medicine that they have to cut the corners. They have to make it grow faster. They have to do whatever they have to do to make it bigger and stronger and better. And then, and then that's where the issue lies.
Or the simple supply and demand. If that was the case and demand opened up 3 times, then if there wasn't other players that were coming in to put in dirty product, then the ones that were doing it right, their demand should go up, right? Their demand for their product and what they produce with their clean medicine should go up, because they're not willing to compromise and they're not willing to cut the corners just to meet more like yield. They should, in my opinion, I would imagine that, because now it's rec, but you still grow great medicine and you still grow clean medicine, your value should go up. But the problem is, and then it goes to lab testing being fake. So now you
start cheating, right?
That's now you as a consumer, you can't differentiate, especially if it's all packaged up. Yeah, especially if it's all packaged up, you can't differentiate which medicine's clean, which medicine's
right.
not.
And in PA, I'll tell you honestly, and I don't trust ChatGPT as far as I can throw Skunky. But that being said, I always put it in and check and see what they gotta say, and I compare it to gas station weed, and I always ask, what's good, what's bad, and what's ugly, and they're usually pretty fair and honest about it. And they always say, like with my medical dispensary, they say that those high numbers seem a little high, like you don't need 29 or 30 or 36% THC, but everything else seems to check out with those numbers, and I'm like, all right. And then they, final thing is that they always say it's not gas station, so be happy that it's not gas station, because other people have to go buy gas station stuff,
Yeah, thank goodness.
I think the synthetic,
but it's still the same.
The synthetic cannabinoids, I just feel like
it's scary.
threw a whole wrench in the products, and I honestly think they put a lot of CBD businesses out of business back in the day.
Absolutely. CBD.
And like
such
the
a
good
tool.
CBD, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Good, great CBD. And now they've ruined it. And that's what's going to happen with cannabis, little by little. We're ruining it. They're going to take it away.
Not for me, they're not.
But do you think the demand for CBD on smoking it and using it as medicine is as high as, let's say, the psychoactive effects of THC?
I don't think enough people recognize the value of CBD.
Yeah, I don't think enough people recognize the purity, the value of the purity of it, as opposed to, you know, how quickly it can get you high. But I feel like I can tell the difference. It just feels like more natural and more me. You know, people say I'm lying, but I'm such a lightweight. CBD does make me high. And so I miss the low THC stuff.
Yeah.
And the organic stuff. It just doesn't feel as harmonic to me. And it feels like there's got to be some kind of heavy metals in it or something weird and not natural that's combining with our chemistry, and just the vibrations just off.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's not nearly as like regulated, then who knows what nutrients and other things are kind of the inputs in on like industrial hemp, or I guess certain. Yeah, I mean, one thing, there was a really cool grow that I remember Jeff like letting this one grow. We had a client. They ended up leaving, or they went out of. They pretty much weren't. They couldn't compete. Fake industry. And they were really awesome. Their company was called Aqua Grow. They had a whole aquaponics facility. They had the fish. It was really, really cool. It was kind of on the outskirts of Oklahoma. And they had like a CBD THC ratio one. It was like a 1-to-1 or 1/2-to-1. It was super cool. And it was very, very rare. And I remember us trying to be like, man, this is very, very unique.
Yeah, it's important. It's a very good one.
Yeah, and they were clean. They were super cool. And that's kind of the problem, is like, how do patients find the grows that are actually really, really legit, and at least trying their best to not put any inputs that are gross? And we're trying to kind of figure out a little solution that we might be able to roll out here in the next couple weeks or in the next month, that might kind of integrate with us being transparent as a lab too, trying to figure out something to give it a chance.
That's good. I think creating a demand and educating about it is also really good. Maybe even
it's essential. Yeah, that's
studies
essential.
on people using the 1-to-1 and what that helps with, and over a 10-year span, you know.
Yeah, it's hard as a consumer if you have a lot of people advertising that they're best. It's the same deal for us. Without us being transparent as a lab, if you're a grower, how do you know the difference to differentiate between the like labs? All of them are going to call you and say the same thing. We're the most accurate. We're blah blah blah. We're this. We're that. You as a grower, how can you differentiate the difference if you're not in the laboratory? You don't know.
And then also a question for like a future episode is like, what, and I think we've mentioned it before, like what can we do once we get the product, if it's raw flour, to like sanitize it ourselves, you know? Like what can we do to
bleach? I always heard that word.
No.
Oh, no.
Like, or can we shine a UV light to see if there's mold on it? Like, what can we do to keep it as healthy as we can?
I imagine if you don't know what the impurity is, then you don't know what the treatment would be, right, Jeff? It's almost like a chemistry experiment.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't know how to neutralize the impurity.
Your own laser light show at home.
But I feel like if you put something out in the sun, it purifies almost anything. Like if you were able to like stick it in sunlight.
Then it's gonna take away
natural light can break down DNA. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take away all the goodness.
But that would be microbes.
The flavor,
so the counter to that, though, is like for things like aspergillus, like the black molds, that they just become dormant. They make like this hard outer shell on them, and it keeps them alive for long periods of time. So like you could use sun, but that doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily help everything. Or you could hit it with UV light. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be able to clean that out. It just really depends on like what is on it and how you could possibly treat it. So
the shell is the shell chitin, so you would use chitinase?
I would need to look into this a little more. I just know that, like, especially for aspergillus, that they are very, very resistant to lots of different types of treatments. So, if that was a sensitivity that you had, that one might be problematic.
Or you can combine it like chestnuts roasting on it. They have chitnase in them. You can eat it with chitness. Chestnuts. You can roast chestnuts and cannabis.
I have no idea what we're talking about. We're singing Christmas songs.
I love it when I know what we're talking about.
Nuts roasting on an open fire.
Poor Chet.
Black frost nipping at your nose. Oh, sorry. Where are we? I'm lost. We were talking about. I was thinking about creating a new Skunkinator 5000 that we can make.
Like Andre 5000.
Zap our weed and then make it into safe. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, Skunky.
The big Skunky.
The big Skunkinator.
Yeah, skunk it. Skunk it.
Our weed.
Don't smoke that weed. Skunk it first.
It'll be safe somehow.
Apparently, they just turned off CERN yesterday.
While they're busy skunking it, I'll be smoking it. So they better
Make
hurry.
a CERN strand.
Skunking it is handing it to you and you smoke it.
Right.
You're like, yeah, let me test it out.
That's right.
Sure, it's good for you.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice strain. Let me have a little taste of that.
I think that there's one of our issues is they need to cut down on a million, zillion, jillion, trillion different strains and let's focus on ones that help with each conditions. And I know there's millions of conditions, but we got to come up with one like for every condition or something because this is ridiculous. I go in
We
there
could just number strain 1, strain 2,
say get
strain
me
3.
high now because I don't know which one's doing what I need. You know, like I know I need an indica. I know I need a less caryophyllene because it gives me a sore throat. Yeah, and then from there I like to be mellow and happy.
One of the old ideas I had was if I was a grow, it's like when the industry first started, I always thought it'd be really cool if they did almost instead of like beer flights, you did cannabis flights. And let's say you had some sort of membership or something, and you would go to a dispensary and you could pick up a flight of these different strains, and the catch would be that you get them at a discount, but you'd have to give feedback on your medicinal effects on each one. And the rule would be you need to be clean each time. You can't be cocktailing it up and then giving a review.
And I would have an issue with that because I get too high and then I forget to write down the stuff that I need to do, like what I'm feeling, like I'm feeling good. I'm not over here worrying about writing down. And then next thing I know, I'm not feeling good. I'm at the dispensary again and I'm like, fuck, what was that shit that I had that made me feel good? Luckily, they have like a back, they can go and look and see the stuff that I've bought in the
backlog that you bought. Yeah. Okay.
So
then you know which strains, but the rough part is not knowing, if those strains are even the strain.
We don't know if we'll ever get that strain back. It's gone now.
But there are so many factors to like how you metabolize it. Like if you worked out that day, you might have gotten a better high.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or if you had more sun that day, it might have got rid of your headache more easily.
Yeah. Well, then hopefully you'd have enough in that flight that you'd have multiple, at least three sessions per one. Day. And then give your review, and then it's like, oh, hey, I see Skunky's little profile here. I think I do like this strain, and it seems like I've had great effects as this similar individual. Then it gives you ideas of other strains you may try out for these other things because different people, different effects, right? And you find other people that may have some similar effects that you've already seen. Oh, yeah, I've smoked Chocolope, and this guy has the exact same effect on Chocolope that I do. This person does not. So maybe this person, I may follow patient 3350 and be like, let me see what else that they've smoked and left reviews on.
It'd be cool to scan their blood pressure, before they did it.
I mean, obviously having more biometric data would be cool for sure.
Yeah, I think we're a little bit far away from that, though, no?
Yeah, I think nobody'd ever have a buzz if we did all that shit.
I mean, if a grower put in some effort, it'd be pretty interesting to see if, because who wouldn't want a flight of things to try out?
I'm
I think it's a
sure
great
they
idea,
could.
Mo.
It's just a lack of effort and a lack of research or lack of people listening to people who may have ideas and not willing to listen to them and not willing to know what we're doing. Don't you tell us we're the government for crying out loud.
I
We
mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of noise out there.
for sure. Product differentiation. That's what makes it hard. That's what
Well,
makes it
that one-
hard to come together. As
Well, I'm
an honest-
excited to see what you're bringing to us in the next couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
me too.
Yeah, we might have something here in like the next month. So I think it would be pretty interesting to see if we can get a little
Is
thing
it
started.
smokable?
Not for what we're doing, but obviously it would help. Maybe it might help the growers where you're getting real numbers and it'd actually be beneficial to your bottom line rather than a detriment.
Nice. We're working
Hopefully.
with
Make it out of
Maybe.
down here, guys.
Maybe.
You guys better thank me bringing in two geniuses down there. Anyway,
I'm glad to be here.
before we get out of here, we want to thank every single one of you for tuning in.
Oh my God, it's 5!
To Stuffed and Uncensored. Today's conversation was about proprietary pot controversies. But now I screwed everything else up because it's not controversial. Anyway,
Yeah, the
it's
controversy
bigger
is
than
about
Pennsylvania.
proprietary.
This is about patients everywhere. It is about transparency. It is about safety. It is about asking the questions too many people are afraid to ask. A huge thank you to our amazing crew, Lil Skunky, Aviva, Scribbles, Mo, and Jeff, and myself, of course, for bringing
Proprietary
the
pot panels.
knowledge, the experience, and the heart to see this, heart to this conversation. And thank you to everyone
Love
watching,
you guys.
commenting, sharing, and being a part of this community. Please hit the like button, drop a comment, share this show out, subscribe to WTHC, tell a friend, tag someone who needs to hear this, because the more patients know, the harder it is for anyone to keep them in the dark. We are not here to scare people. We are here to inform people. We are here to protect patients, and we are here to remind everyone that trust us is not enough when people are using cannabis as medicine. Keep asking questions, keep demanding transparency, and keep supporting the people who put patients first. From all of us here at Stuffed and Uncensored, WTHC Radio, and the Hippie Broadcasting Network, thank you for growing with the flow. Stay safe, stay loud, stay informed, and always remember, patients deserve the truth. God damn it.
Yeah. And smoke what makes you happy.
Yeah, and
Yeah, true.
smoke weed every day. Eh?
Yeah.
No script, no rules, just jokes on blast. Stories flying way too fast. If you're bored, well, not no more. 'Cause here we go at 4 o'clock sharp. You hear that knock? That's the fun at the door. Tuesday